Hey y'all, it's Peyton Riley, and y'all are listening to Hank Jr. on Hank's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hank's Corner. I'm your host, Hank Jr. As you know, I'm part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and, of course, podcasting. And I'm so excited about my next guest here on Hank's Corner because she is from my home state of Texas. You may have recently seen her audition on American Idol. She was named the Young Artist of the Year by the Texas Country Music Association. Please welcome to the Hank's Corner, Payton Riley. Payton, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing wonderful, and I appreciate you coming on because you are very busy. I mean, people that are following your social probably also saw that you had another interview today that was recorded for radio purposes, and you're just kind of out and about and in demand right now.
Yes, sir.
And how does that feel to be, making all these appearances and getting out there? Do you get excited about it? Is this a good time for you, or do you still have nerves that are, kind of running through you?
It is super exciting. It's super exciting to know that many people want to help and support me and help grow my career, and that I have so many loving and supporting people just in my life. Everybody is super sweet and super kind, and sometimes it's a little bit nerve-wracking thinking about it because you know, I kind of live like a double life, I guess you could say, because I'm still going to school. I'm still a freshman. So sometimes people will come up to me and they'll be like, "Oh, I saw you on the TV. I heard your new song," or "Hey, I know you." And sometimes I'm like still stuck in my school life and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, who is this person?" So sometimes it's a little nerve-wracking, but it's definitely a super fun and amazing life that I get to live, and I'm so very fortunate, and I'm really excited for where it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome. You mentioned the double life, kind of like the Hannah Montana syndrome you got going on there. It's pretty,
Yes, sir.
pretty cool. And those that follow me know that my little corner is somewhere in the Tampa Bay area, and like I mentioned, my home state is Texas. So where are you calling in from today?
So I'm calling in from Montgomery, Texas.
Okay, and what major city for those that are not from Texas is that near?
That's north of Houston, and most of the people know it as the Conroe area.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, and I definitely got to spend some time over there. I would often have a softball tournament yearly that would take place in that general area, the Woodlands, Conroe, that area there. And I used to love going up there. They had plenty of food to eat, which I always got to talk about food on my podcast. But they
Yes,
they definitely have a row right off of I don't know if that was 45 or 59, but they have definitely a row of nothing but restaurants along the interstates there.
yes, sir. Yes, they do.
And you were mentioned too that it is getting springtime, and offline you said I guess the bluebonnets are coming back over there.
Yes, they are. There are fields of them for miles, and they are so beautiful. Me and my mom were trying to get pictures of them, and there's so many just beautiful flowers growing on the sides of the road. It's just so beautiful to see, and I'm excited that the cold is finally going away, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for it to be like 120 degrees again.
Yeah, I'm definitely not ready for the summer just yet. But when you talked about getting the pictures of the bluebonnets, as a photographer, I'm always excited about the different photos. And I was going to ask you if you did any photo shoots or anything in the bluebonnets while you had the chance.
Not today, but I have done them before, but I was like super little. But hopefully this year, me and my photographer have been talking about it, and so hopefully we can get some this year.
All right. And as a fellow photographer, I love plugging other photographers. I believe in lifting everybody up. So, do you want to give a plug for who your photographer is?
Yeah, sure. Her name is Shaughnessy Ransom, and she is in the Fort Worth area. She is amazing. All the photos that you'll see on my Instagram, Facebook page, all those are done by her, and the covers for lots of my songs are done by her too. She's amazing. Y'all should definitely go check her out.
Yeah, she definitely does great work that I've seen there. And, I want to talk a little bit about your latest song, Not As Much As I Used to. And, I have that song kind of stuck in my head, especially preparing for this interview. I just love that it does have that Texas vibe to it. And tell us a little bit about the song.
So, not as much as I used to. This is one of the first songs I've recorded that I did not actually write. It was written by Harlan Toward, who has written so many amazing songs by like Patsy Cline, Willie Nelson, and a bunch of the greats. Like one of the songs that everybody knows, and he's just so amazing. But stuff that's really popular right now in the Texas country radio is honky tonk music. And so I try to do a lot of different genres because I get in these phases where I like rock music, country, but I've had a little bit of a trouble of going into that honky tonk music. And so whenever my producers showed me this song, I instantly fell in love with it because it's something that I can relate to. It's super duper fun, but it still has a lot of meaning like behind it.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely like it. And, what do you think about the success of it with all those streams?
I feel like it's doing pretty good. And whenever me and my band play at the show, I just love seeing people come up and dance. It just makes me really excited. And knowing that the job is doing exactly like the song is doing exactly what I hoped it would.
Yeah, and for those that follow me know that I put out a new Music Friday post when almost every Friday that I can, letting everybody know about the new music. And this was one of the ones that was on it previously. But let's go ahead and listen to it here on Hank's Corner. It's Not As Much As I Used to.
I used to go places, search through all the faces, hanging out all night just to get a glimpse of you. I used to lie awake, counting my mistakes. Nothing much has changed, I admit that I still do, but not as much as I used to. I think I've recovered. I know I still love you, but not as much as I used to. Sometimes when I'm lonely, I think you're the only one who has the power to fix what you're broken to. I know you're a habit, but I don't have to have it. Maybe except for a brief, weak moment or two, but not as much as I used to. I think I've recovered. I know I still love you, but not as much as I used to. I used to cry like a baby, thinking that maybe I might be insane. My poor old heart has been through it. Why do I do it over and over and over and over again? Not as much as I used to. Not as much as I used to. I think I've recovered. Maybe I know I still love you, but not as much as I used to. Oh, not as much as I used to. Not as much as I used to.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. here with my special guest, Payton Riley. And you just heard Not As Much As I Used to. And, you mentioned that you didn't actually write that song, but you have a song that's going to be coming out. It's scheduled to come out May 3rd, called Fireflies, which, go out now and pre-save that, everybody. We've talked about that before on my show, what it means to pre-save, and it helps the artist get on a particular playlist ahead of time there on Spotify or iTunes. But, tell us us a little bit about this song because obviously it's very special and personal to you.
Yes, sir. It is definitely really special and personal to me. Back in July of 2023, I wrote this as kind of like a love song for me and my ex-boyfriend, I guess you can say. We broke up last year in 2023, and whenever that happened, I went through a really hard time. Our moms were best friends, our sisters, we'd go on family trips with them. We were really close, and just going through that was really hard for me. But as music does, it moves so many people, and every time I would sing the song, it made me feel so much better. And that song just got me through that heartbreak and that breakup, and that's why it's really so important to me.
Yeah, and you got the opportunity, and we're going to play a little bit of a clip to it to perform that on American Idol. And let's play a little bit of that clip and let's talk about it.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, who are you?
My name is Payton Riley.
How old are you?
I just turned 15.
Just turned 15.
Yes,
and where you
sir.
from?
I'm from Montgomery in Texas.
And do you realize your guitar is as big as you?
I was going to say.
Yes, sir, it's
You're
very
going to be able to
big.
hold that.
Well, what do you want to sing for us today?
I'm gonna be singing y'all an original song called Fireflies. I admit it, I was scared. I've been hurt a bunch of times. Couldn't leave the past behind. But this guy was the sweetest of his kind. And God knows he could have been mine. But I had to go and ruin it. All he wanted was fireflies dancing in the moonlight. His hand felt so good in mine. Two-stepping on the truck bed. Four-wheel drive into the sunset. Promise ring on my left finger. Said the diamonds only get bigger. Doesn't that sound like a perfect picture? Thank you. Thank you.
So, tell me, being that it was such a personal and emotional song for you, first of all, how hard was it to play it for a stage like American Idol?
It was definitely very nerve-wracking. You're kind of in shock whenever you go in the room. So you're nervous, but I could tell you, whenever I was watching myself on TV, I do not remember half of that happening. It's just like you're in shock. You like totally forget it. You're just so like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this was happening. Like you never like had that kind of like planned out in your life. You never thought you would be able to be in front of Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan. So you're just like in so much shock. But after you're out of the room, or when you are in there, when you can actually, after you sang your song, you're like, oh my gosh, I can finally breathe. You're like, that is so cool. I got to sing in front of the best of the best. It's just a really fun experience. Even though it didn't plan out how I had hoped it did, it's just really cool to be able to say that I did do it and that other people get to hear my songs.
Yeah, and not only did you get to do it and have that honor performing in front of them, but you had it there so everybody can see that. So, you got a good feature where sometimes people, they go on, and even when they, they get the golden ticket, sometimes you don't see much of them, and they just kind of disappear, and you're kind of like, what happened? But to get that feature, what do you think about that?
I thought it was super cool. At first, I did not, because as if y'all have seen it, y'all know that I didn't get to move on. They said I was a little bit too young because I'm 15 years old. So they said to come back when I was 18. So definitely at first I was really bummed out, but I wouldn't have been able to go back to school because I'm a freshman. And so I wouldn't have been able to finish this year out. And I just wouldn't have been able to do a lot of things because I would have been traveling all over the world. I wouldn't have been able to do things with my friends or do shows back at home. And so after I got over kind of like being sad, I realized that it happened for a reason. I'm really happy that it did. And I'm really super grateful that they aired it on TV, because that really does mean a lot to me that I get to have one of my most favorite songs and ones that are really important to me be spread out to the world and hopefully help other people, mostly young girls like me. Like, I've got some messages from them like saying, your song helped me so much get through my breakup with my boyfriend. And that's my goal in life, is to be a light for others, not only like through my Christianity and spreading the word, but to be a light in their life and just try to make their day a little bit better.
Yes, it definitely gave you an extra, outlet to be able to have that platform and to be able to reach other people that you may not have reached through just social media. And so that is a definite benefit that, comes out of it. And, as far as that, the critique and advice that they give you, they talked about you being young, which you are, and to come back in a couple of years. But the ironic part about that is that, because you're able to take that advice and do what they're kind of saying, and that just kind of shows the maturity that you have already to realize, hey, look, I tried it, it was great, it did some awesome stuff for me, but I know I have a ways to go. And I'm looking forward to see where your career is heading, honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think it's a perfect time to play one of your songs called "Warrior," which was a few years back that you came out with, but I think it fits your mindset right now. Plus, I want to talk a little bit more about the Christianity side of it when we come back as well.
On days that I'm feeling weak, the enemy's trying to get a grip on me. He's pushing and pulling me down, but I will keep on standing on the solid ground. Let me tell you something about me. I'm a child of the King of Kings, and in my weakness he makes me strong. So I will get up, look up, my chains are gone. I am a warrior. I'm strong, brave, and fierce. I am a warrior. And I'll fight till my battle's won. And I won't give up, and I won't give in, 'cause my God is with me until the end. We have won the victory, 'cause the mighty warrior fights for me. Lord, I need you to renew my faith, to carry me through the darkest days. I want to walk without growing faint, so I will look to you to be my strength. I am a warrior. I'm strong, brave, and fierce. I am a warrior. And I'll fight till my battle's won. And I won't give up, and I won't give in, 'cause my God is with me until the end. We have won the victory, 'cause the mighty warrior fights for me. Oh, 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 he fights for me.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. You're here with Hank Jr. and Payton Riley, and we are talking all kinds of fun stuff what's going on in Payton's life. And one of the things though that did attract me to you as an artist is that you have some Christian overtones and actually some Christian songs that you put out. Tell me, what does your faith mean to you, and how much does that influence your music career?
So my faith is really important to me. Not a lot of people, but a lot of kids in my area, they were raised like since they like were babies through the church and all the way up. And I go to a Christian school, so it's always kind of just been like a part of my life. But whenever I started writing Christian music, I started becoming closer in my faith and really realizing like the words and what they mean, like in the Bible, and their meaning behind them, and how much God loves you. And I wanted other people to know that too. And as I said earlier, music speaks so much to people, and it's really a way to connect with them. So I wanted to be an outlet to them, so they can believe in God too, because that's the whole reason why I'm doing this, just to be a light for everybody else. And once you see like how much of an impact you have in people's life, it means, like, to me, it like lets me know that, okay, I'm on the right track and I'm doing good and I just need to keep going. But I started writing Christian music probably when I was in the 4th grade. That's what I started, because I started writing when I was 8 or 9 years old, and that's what I started writing with. But when I was younger, I had always listened to country music. But as I got older, that's just kind of what I shifted more to. And now, like with music, you have so much freedom to do whatever you want. I can do country rock, pop country, and that's what I've been doing more lately. But I always make sure that I'm always, at least in one of my shows, singing a Christian song, or just always putting a little outlet in my shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's awesome to hear because, you kind of alluded to it. Like, sometimes whether it's, speaking about Christianity or anything in general, sometimes people have a hard time connecting with others or how to bring something up. But the music thing, like you said, it does give like a little bit of a bridge. And, if you put something in your song, it gets people thinking, whether it's Christian or not. And you get that Christian aspect to it, and people, hey, tell me a little bit more about that. And then all of a sudden you got a conversation that you can open up.
Yeah.
And one of the artists that I had on my show a while back, which I thought was really awesome because, it's kind of hard to mix the Christian and the country and everything into, a show or whatever. But Aaron Tanner, you talked about the honky tonk. He has got honky tonk Christian. You need to look him up and take a look back at that. But he's found a way to actually combine the two into the songs. And, it sounds like you're in a bar and you're hearing that kind of music. But then when you actually listen to the words about it, he is spreading the faith, which is definitely pretty awesome. So, good for you for doing that, and good for the artists that are willing to stand up and do that. And I'm going to bring this up. It's kind of a Christian thing that, your family did. And I only bring it up because you post about it in social media. So I'll do that. But, your family had brought in some foster kids at one point. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so whenever I was younger in our church, my parents worked for an organization called Project Love One. And I think it was like every couple of months, my parents, they would go to Haiti, and the church would like get baby bottles for the babies and stuff like that, and formula and all that kind of stuff to take over there, because over there they go to the orphanages, which there's tons of them, and then they go to these abandoned houses, and kids are just laying on the ground. They have no food and stuff like that. And so that just kind of what like got us into that. And so our first foster kid was from Colombia, and we had her, I want to say, for like 3 months, and then she got sent back. I was too young. I've never asked why. I just think they like didn't see. I'm not quite sure why. I was too young to know that. And then we had 2 other ones that were 2 and 3 years old, and I think they stayed with us until their parents were stable. And so we were just a stable home for them. But it was super sad because one kid only came in with the clothes on his back and 1 shoe. That's all he came with. Like, no toys, no books, none of that. And to know that me and my sister could have anything that we ever like needed, we didn't like have to worry about when we were getting food on the table, or if we were gonna get rained on while we're sleeping. And those kids did. And that just made me like feel so sad, and I wanted to be part of that, and I wanted to be like the family to them that their parents can't be to them. And so then I got involved with an organization called Love Hills Youth, and they give free counseling to foster kids. And so every month or 2 I'll go in and sing to them, because as I said, like their parents, they don't want them, or their parents abuse them, and they've been in mental hospitals and stuff like that, and so they're not always in the right state of mind. And so just going in there and singing their favorite songs, and then throwing in a few Christian songs, they'll come up to me and ask questions about it, and then I'll talk to them about it. So just being able to, again, be a light for them, that's really super fun and exciting. And also I love children, even though I'm one myself. Like, I love kids and being able to hang out with them. And so it's just what I love doing, and I love being able to help them and making their life a little bit better, because I know they've had a really hard one.
Yeah, and I definitely give props to you and your family for doing that. That's awesome. We need more people that do that sort of thing, and then for you to take it and kind of bring awareness to it in your music, I think that's wonderful. Keep that up, and that's a perfect time for us to play Love Heals here on Hank's Corner.
Been cast away, misunderstood, never felt the way a child should. These days alone turned into years. Have no place to call home. When I'm scared, there's no arms to hold. When tears pour out, I wipe them on my own. Dear God, if you hear, will you answer a simple prayer? I want a family, someone to love me, no matter where I've been or what I've done. There's no greater feeling than overcoming demons, knowing there's a place where I belong. Home. Trouble's what they label me, forgotten so easily. I saw how cruel the world could be. I need an angel who's willing to see with devotion unconditionally. Will take me just as I am. Dear God, if you hear, will you answer a simple prayer? I want a family, someone to love me, no matter where I've been or what I've done. There's no greater feeling than overcoming demons, knowing there's a place where I belong. Home. I hope you find me before I quit. Show me mercy when I throw a fit. Guide me to peace through the storm, and don't forget to hold me in your arms. I want a family, someone to love me, no matter where I've been or what I've done. There's no greater feeling than overcoming demons, knowing there's a place where I belong. Home.
It's back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. here with my special guest, Payton Riley from my home state of Texas. And we're having a good time talking about, all the wonderful things that, Payton's doing at such a young age, bringing awareness to all kinds of stuff. And, from Christianity to fostering. And, I said offline that, I love the maturity that I'm seeing in you. I'll say it here online. And it's great to see that. And once again, I can't wait to see where your career goes into the future. I know there's going to be great things ahead of you, no matter which direction that it goes. But let's talk a little bit about something different, because even though I know as a music artist, you're constantly doing things related to music, whether it's, practicing or writing songs or doing social media. But when you do have some spare time, what are you doing for fun?
In like the 1 hour I get every month of free
Exactly.
time, I'm usually I'm usually sometimes hanging out with my friends or with my family because family's super important. Or I'm running track. I'm a big track runner. I run the 100 and 300-meter hurdles. And with my time right now, I'm supposed to be in first, second, or third for state. So that's super exciting, especially
Wow.
as a freshman and running against seniors. It's kind of intimidating, but I'm super excited. Hopefully, I can bring home a win. But yeah, I'm either running track, spending time with my family. My sister is a big softball player. She's into select softball, so we spend a lot of time at the softball fields. I spent a lot of my childhood out there. But that's pretty much what I do when I'm not doing music. Music takes up about 99% of
Oh,
everything,
I'm sure.
but
Yeah.
I love it, so it's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you talk about the hurdles, and good for you to be able to do that. I did a little bit of track in junior high as well. And they had me on the hurdles, and I could not properly jump over a hurdle with the form. I would jump over it like I was just kind of, jumping over a log on the ground, just straight over it. And of course that would slow me down as far as, trying to keep up with those that had form. But fortunately I had enough speed to at least, kind of stay with it. But the 400 was more of my speed, and that's kind of what I did. The 4x4 or just the 400. And we're talking days gone by, but sometimes it's good to recollect on that. And you mentioned a little bit about the softball and everything. One of the guests that I had on not too long ago was McKenna Faith Witters. And I don't know if you know who she is, but you need to check her out. She's another 15-year-old as well. She's out of the Illinois area, and she's doing some awesome stuff with her music. And just to kind of think that, maybe if you guys paired up, you would make a perfect duo out there on stage and going around to different venues and touring. So maybe that is a possibility to have your two styles up on stage at the same time. So be sure to check her out. But she does a lot of sports too. She's into softball, and she's doing really well for that. So I'm sure that you guys would have a lot in common. And talking about other artists, did I not see you with a picture of you and Jeff Canada?
He's one of my closest music friends. I love Jeff, and I would not be anywhere near where I am today without him and all the amazing connections that he's connected me with, and all the amazing songwriters that he's had introduced to me, and all the venues that he's talked to so I can play there. He is an amazing person. Sometimes he scares some people, but once you get to know him, he's a big teddy bear.
Yeah, and definitely he's very outspoken there on social media. Some things are kind of funny, and some things you're
Yeah.
kind of like scratching your head on what he's saying. And like I said earlier on in the podcast, one of the things I love to talk about is food. And I do miss a lot of the food from Texas, whether it's Mexican, barbecue. We got some good food here in Florida, but I definitely miss those two things. What are some of the foods that you enjoy?
So I am a very, very picky eater, and with being on the road all the time and traveling, we eat a lot of fast food. So a lot of my favorite foods are Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and my all-time favorite food, I will eat it every single day. For every single meal is Mexican food, but my favorite thing that I go there for is the queso.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing. I love queso.
Yeah, that is one thing that we haven't found here very well is the Mexican food. I mean, we got some spots that are okay. Definitely miss the Tex-Mex. Definitely miss the authentic Mexican. And anytime I get back to Texas, that's usually the first thing that I'm eating multiple times. And as far as a sweet tooth, do you have a sweet tooth? And if so, what do you like to eat?
So I am really weird, and I said I'm really picky, but I don't like cake or cupcakes. I'm more of kind of like a gummy candy. Like I don't like
Mm.
chocolate, stuff like that. I'll just eat like cookies and cream ice cream and mostly like gummy candies like Starburst and watermelon Sour Patch Kids and stuff like that. Super picky.
Oh, pretty cool. Yeah, definitely love a good meal. Definitely love sweets, and like I said, I always got to talk about it at least one point in my podcast. And I have not actually seen you on stage yet, and obviously, one of these days, maybe I can get you on this back wall here.
Yes.
But I have seen you on social media. But given a chance, if somebody comes to see a Peyton Riley performance, what should they expect?
They should expect to have a good time, to hear great cover songs and great original songs, and just have a great time and be able to talk to me because I love to talk to everybody and be able to see like be have fun and like see sassy songs, but be also to like feel songs too.
All right. So we definitely look forward to getting that opportunity to come see you live, whether it's over there, Texas, here in Florida, or wherever it may be. Definitely want to do that. Everybody, go check out Peyton Riley on all our social medias. You can also follow it at PaytonRileyMusic.com. While you're out there on social media, Spotify, and all that, be sure to pre-save her song that's coming up May 3rd called Fireflies. It's definitely a great song for those that, saw the American Idol or caught it here. It's definitely a good sneak peek, and I can't wait for that to come out. And of course, it'll be on my New Music Friday post when it comes out. But Peyton, thanks so much for being a guest on Hank's Corner. If you ever want to be a guest, you're more than welcome to do so.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I had a blast, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
I aim a little better and mature a little faster. I can drive circles round boys in my tractor. I can do tricks and I can run sprints, even when they say I can't. I can shoot a buck and I kick a worm. When they play tag, they skin my turn. 'Cause I'm too fast and I'm too strong, and I love doing things that prove them wrong. When they say only boys can't do this, I say, boys keep up. I can play guitar so my hands keep getting rougher. You can keep on pushing me, then watch what I discover. I can shoot hoops and I can make moves. They try to tell me that I